I just finished packing about 40 orders, going to USPS, UPS, you know the deal. But just want to talk about advertising and marketing today, because I think a lot of us get too caught up on certain things, like getting the shirts perfect, getting the packaging right. But what's the point of getting everything perfect if there's no one to sell it to? So I wanted to talk about marketing because I think it's something that we got to talk about. So there's two things. There's organic marketing, which you do everything yourself, and then there's paid ads, which I like better, to be honest. Like, paid ads takes a lot of pressure off of you to have to do everything every single day. I run ads on Google and Meta. If y'all ever seen my ads, that's because I pay money to run advertising. I'm sure a lot of people starting out are probably asking, how much should I put into ads? When can I expect results? And everything kind of varies. There's no set answer to this. But if I were to start from scratch, I would say start with about 15 to 20 bucks a day on ads. I know it's scary when you first start to put money into advertising because you don't really know what you're doing and you don't really know if you're gonna get results, but that's the reality of all this. It's very trial and error. So when you first start out, I would say run some campaigns with a lower budget of like that $15, $20 range per day. And if you can't do that, then I would say save up money to do it, because if you only run 5 to 10 bucks a day, you're most likely gonna be wasting your money, to be honest. It's probably not as effective as if you spend a little bit more. And that's because you gotta remember, when you run ads, it's basically trying to find people who are gonna be interested in your product. So if you only run 5 bucks worth of ads, once the $5 is up, it might not find anyone. So the next day it's gonna try again, run 5 bucks, not find anyone. 5 again, not find anyone. So you're gonna basically be burning your money slowly to get no results. Versus if you spend a little bit more at a time, you're giving the advertising platforms more data to work with. And this doesn't mean spend like $1,000 to get a lot of data, because when you first start, you have no data. There's no information on your pixel. And the pixel is basically what tracks how your customers are on your website, like who added to cart, who looked at a product and signed off. Basically, it doesn't give you like who the person is, it just like tracks the events. It's called event tracking. So what you're looking for is add to cart, conversion, and any other behavior that might make sense for you to retarget. So purchase is one of the main events that you want to be tracking, because that shows you who purchased it. And I don't know what happens under the hood, but essentially Meta and Google and all these invasive ad platforms knows, okay, this person purchased it, let's try and find someone else similar that will also purchase it. So I don't know how it works under the hood. I'm not a developer, I'm not a fucking software engineer, but that's basically, in the simplest terms, that's what happens. So the more data you feed your pixel, the more likely something is gonna happen, and the more likely it's gonna find other people that are similar to basically get you more sales. A lot of people, I think, when they start, they think you put money into ads, it's an auto win. It's very much not the case. Putting in money basically allows you more visibility, but without a good website, without a good product, without a good experience for customers, it doesn't matter how much money you pump in. So having a good product is obviously very important. Having a website that looks decent, that doesn't look scammy, is very important. And having social proof is also important. So this is why if you combo paid advertising and organic advertising, even if one kind of flops, as long as you're doing the other, they kind of feed the same system. Right now, my Instagram is in the trenches. I can't believe how ridiculously low all my engagement is. But it doesn't matter because I get my sales through my ads. So yes, it sucks that my posts perform pathetically, terribly, like garbage. But at the same time, because I'm getting all this data through my advertising, it doesn't matter because people see my page, I post very frequently, I have good customer service because I have 5 stars on Etsy, I got 5 stars on my website. Well, 4.9, you know, almost 5. But people see those things, and those are the important things that you gotta highlight when people come to your website. Some people may call it a landing page. Some people may call it just a homepage or a curated collection that caters to specific audiences. So you gotta remember, it's kind of like running a store, like an actual store. Someone walks into your store, how do you get that person to purchase? If the store looks cool, people are gonna be like, wow, this store is dope. They're gonna browse, they're gonna look, they're gonna touch and feel the goods. on websites, you can't have that physical interaction with the product. So it has to be photos. You need good pictures of your products. You need lifestyle photos. You need to basically show and make your customer trust you that they're making a good decision with their time and money, basically. So make sure that before you run ads, you have all your stuff figured out, everything looks pretty decent. Because if you run ads to a crappy website, you're gonna be wasting money. If your products are whack, you're gonna be wasting money. If you have no like social media presence, unfortunately, most people are gonna fail. It's just how it is nowadays. So I would say that if you're just starting out, make sure you're posting on your feed. Doesn't matter how crappy the interaction is, like just keep at it. Build a brand, build the messaging. Make people want to gravitate towards what you're doing. That's the goal. Your goal shouldn't be to sell something to someone. Your goal should be to acquire people's interest in what you are doing, because that's how you grow the community around whatever your niche is. And that's why I lean really hard into music, because music's my whole life. You know, I've been DJing, I played saxophone a long time ago. I used to produce a lot more. Nowadays I really don't, but I've been ingrained in music for like my whole life. So to me, it's natural to talk about the things that I do and showcase the things that I do, because I don't have to pretend to be something I'm not. Like, this is literally who I am. So that's why even if my posts don't get any freaking engagement, I'm just like, you know what? It's all good. Screw it. We post it, let the ads handle it. And another way to look at it is if you vend at festivals or if you vend at events or have a pop-up shop, you have to usually pay to be there. So if you want to mentally segment what the cost of advertising looks like to you, you're basically paying money to be seen by people in the marketplace of the internet. Think of the internet as this massive marketplace, flea market, vendor fair, and you are paying money to be seen at that event. Based on how much money you put into it, you have a better chance of getting a better placement. I don't know if any of you have experienced this, but just because you go to a popular event to sell, it doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna get a lot of sales, because sometimes you get placed in the back corner. And then what happens? You get no traffic, so you freaking wasted all your money and time being there, right? So it's kind of a similar mindset, is you are paying to have space on the internet, social media platforms to be seen by people. And once I kind of started looking at it that way, I don't feel as bad putting money into it, because you have to invest in your company. That's just the bottom line. Is you'll hear people who go viral and they sell a lot, whatever, that's cool. But to be honest, going viral is super overrated, and it doesn't create consistency or stability in your business. It creates a massive spike, which could potentially catapult you into success. But you have to be prepared to be able to ride that wave correctly, because even if you go viral and you get, let's just say you make $10,000 that night, if the next day that post starts falling off and you're like, I gotta order more to fulfill more orders, and then once you get your production made 3 weeks down the line or 6 weeks down the line, all of a sudden no one's buying the stuff anymore. So now you're stuck with inventory because your brand was only successful for that moment. So you gotta realize, like, the longevity and consistency of building a brand is way more important than having one moment in time. And I've been running my brand for 3 years now, so I totally understand what this means. Because in the beginning, I was a little bit discouraged when my drops wouldn't sell out, because that's how I was used to running my brand through my other company. Was we will make 100 units, we'll sell out. We'll make 300 units, we'll sell out. You know, I was used to seeing that. But I just think people purchase things differently nowadays. Like, they gotta really be diehard about your product if they're gonna sell out your product. And I'm just not there yet, which is fine. Like, I like that mine is a slow churning experience, because I make sales every day, which is why I'm in the car anyway. You know, I'm going to the post office and stuff. So for me, I enjoy the longevity and consistency of seeing my brand grow over time, versus just having one big spike and nothing. One big spike and nothing. Because that's what people try to show on Instagram and YouTube and all this stuff. You know, it's like the big spike. And it's like, oh man, I made $30,000. But you know how much of that 30,000 went to inventory and advertising and all that stuff? Like, I bet you that 30K looks more like 10K, if anything, if they did it themselves. If they hired other people, it'll probably look more like 6K. So don't believe all these people on the internet. That's what I'm telling you guys. But I appreciate y'all for checking me out, because I am trying to show what I do and talk about why I do certain things, so that if you are growing a brand like me, you can follow how I do it, or we can reference it. You know, you don't got to do what I have to do, but I'm just here to share with you all, since I kind of know what I'm doing, even though every day it feels like I learn something new. And that's what's fucking exciting about all this, you know? It's like there's never ending things to learn about this industry. You will never be tired of being bored. Like, there's always something evolving and changing. So if y'all want to learn from me directly, I do offer one-on-one consultations. Hit that link in the description box. It'll take you to my site. I do give out discounts for first-time students or sessions. So just hit me up in the DMs or hit me up at my support email. I'll give you a discount. So anyways, hope you have a good day. Thank you all for joining me on today's car chat. I don't know what I'm going to call it, but I appreciate you all for being here, and I hope you all learned something, and I'll catch you on the next one.